Hello guys, so today we are going to create these procedural wreaths in Blender with geometry nodes, so let's get started. So first we are going to start by creating our balls, and then we are going to create our pine needles. This could be procedural, but it would be really heavy in many computers, including mine, so I did it as an object. And then finally we are going to create our wreath. Let's then start by creating our balls, so our Christmas ornaments. So Shift A, UV sphere, and now we are going to add decimate, go to unsubdivides and click 1. And this will give us this shape. Okay, let's go to face mode. Select these top ones and then Ctrl plus to expand our selection. Now Shift D and P to separate by loose parts. You can now get out of edit modes and delete this. And now add a new UV sphere, shade to smooth, and try to put it like this. It's good. Click in this top one and let's add solidify until it touches, I think mine is good, maybe one more, yeah, and let's bring it up like this is good to me. Okay, so now click on the ball, Shift Z, cursor to selected, and we can grab this top one. Let's put it on 3D cursor. So Shift D, RX 90, and again Shift D, RX 90, and one more time Shift D, RX 90. Okay. And now we just need two more, so again Shift D, R, Y, 90 and Shift D, R, Y, 90 negative. So now everything has the ornaments. Let's create our materials really fast. So for our ball, let's add a new material. So I'm going to do a shortcut in our material. So select everything, Shift D, and now let's create the material and we will see what I'm talking about. First we need a object info connected to our base color, and as you can see both of them have the information. And now we need a color ramp, and I'm going to change it to constant, and I'm going to change our color. So the first one, let's do this. The first one, I want it to be blue, and the second one I'm going to leave it white, but I'm going to crank the metallic of our materials. I forgot, change this to random, and now it will work. We have one with one color and one with the other. When we Shift D again, Shift D, see, this is the idea. Okay, so to give some roughness to this, like you saw in the original ones, we need to give it a noise texture and the color ramp again. Connect and connect to our roughness. I'm going to already crank this up, crank this. Sorry, it's a noise texture. Noise texture. Okay. Crank the detail, roughness, and here we go. For the top parts, it's pretty much the same, just so I'm going to actually use these nodes, add a new material, use the same nodes for our roughness, bring the metallic to maximum, and change our base color to a goldish color. Okay, so I forgot to do something. Let's join this, Control J, the same goes in here, Control J, and assign the same material. Okay, so here are our balls. The rest of them is just normal spheres with the different materials, the blue one and the gold one, and with the roughness. That's it. 4 different balls. So now let's create our pine needle. And for our pine needle, so first Shift A, plane, scale on the y-axis, really small, like so. Go to edit modes, face mode, extrude it really small, like 0.001. Get out of edit modes, go to the array, and we give it a little extrusion because otherwise the Z wouldn't work. I'm going to set it to 20, give it a count of 50. Yes, this is good, it's enough right now. Let's apply, go to edit mode again, A to select everything, P by separate to loose parts, again go get out of object modes, click M, new collection, and OK. So now we need to Control A and apply all transforms. This is really important. Okay, so now we can go to transform, randomize transform. Mine already has some numbers, but I essentially played with the rotation and with the location on this z-axis, like so. I think this actually looks like this is better. Yeah, this looks good to me. Yeah, okay. Get out. Control A, Control J to join everything, and go to transform. And again, randomize transform. And maybe adjust it a bit, like not as much. Yeah, this is it. This is our pine needle. And now let's create its material. And we are going to give a color ramp, Control T to add, we don't need this, we need a noise texture, sorry, noise texture, connected, change it to objects. Okay, and now this is all black. There is where we need, I'm gonna set this to 20. We need to change these colors. So I know I want one more, so I will add it. And now I'm going to change the colors to a dark green. Yeah, like so. Another a bit more yellowish, like so, and one more like this. Yeah, so we have some variation here in our leaves. Okay, let's leave it in generates and crank these a bit, give it a bit of distortion, Okay, I want him to be big noise. Yeah, like this. So we have some variation in our color, and let's add, why not, this, some roughness. Okay, sorry, vector, roughness, and another color ramp. Okay, this is essentially our leaves, our pine needles. So now we have our ornaments. Let's create our wreath. So just add a plane, a normal plane, and go to the geometry nodes panel, add new. I'm going to delete this one because we don't need exactly a plane, and I'm going to add a curve circle. And so we need to add a set curve radius, and one more thing, curve to mesh. So this become a mesh, curve to mesh. Okay, so right now you can see anything. That's because we need to duplicate this and add profile. And so now you can see clearly what's happening. I am going to set this to 0.3 and this to 1, and I'm going to give it a value, but I want to have some distortion, so I'm going to add a map range. Oh, sorry, a map range. So this goes from, let's say, 1 to the minimum of 0.7, and to give us our distortion we need a noise texture. So connect this to our value and change it to 4D and put this value into our Y. And now, sorry, we need to put this into our radius, change it. So now you can see we have some distortion, and when we change this, we have some variation. Okay, so now we have our base, this is our base, and we need to set our pine needles around here. And to do that, we need to distribute on faces, and we need the instance on points. Right now you can't see anything. That's because we need to grab this, which is our pine needle, and grab it in here, let it go, and connect the geometry to the instance. And now we have some instance. This is a mess right now. That's because we need to add some random values to our scale and another to our rotation. Okay, the rotation, I want 1 and a minimum of 6. Right now this doesn't look really good. That's because we need a minimum of maybe 5, no, less, 0.05 and maybe 0.5 in here. Okay, it's starting to look a bit better. I want to go up on the density, maybe set it to 3 and this to 1. Okay, now it's too small. This for a minimum, it's good. 0.5, it's, yeah, this looks good to me. So crank the density, and now we have something, yeah, like so. Let me play with, I like this. This looks good to me. Yeah, this looks great to me. So now we need to, can hide this, we don't need this. We need to put our bubbles in here, and we need to distribute our Christmas ornaments around here. So we created our 2 spheres, create the rest of them, and select them all and click M to put it in a collection. I have my collection in here already. Here it is. Duplicate this. Actually, you can duplicate all of this. Shift D, grab it in here, and we need a join geometry, because we are going to join, let's change this here. We are going to join this instance to this. Here it is, and now nothing is happening because we haven't added our balls yet, but we are going to do that. Let me put this in here, and we are going to add a collection info, and it's going to be our collection, which is the balls. Set it into there, and we need to connect the curve to mesh to our distribute as well. And now we have a bunch of balls, like many balls. Set your density way down. Way down. Okay, like this is better. Now, checked separate children, checked reset children, and we need, right now this is really small, so now as you can see, they are not looking too good, but first we need to pick instance, and they are intersecting. In order for that not to happen, we need to change from random to Poisson disk, and I'm going to set a minimum value of 0.25. Yeah, and now they are not intersecting anymore. Okay, so now we have our balls already in place. Just play with these amounts and this size of the balls as well. So if you need them, if you think they are too downwards or too much inside of our pine needles, you can do something which is set position, add a set position, add a normal to the offsets, and this is too much, so let's add a vector max, and place it here and change this to scale, and now we can lower the scale, and as you can see they go downwards, so you can bring them up or down as much as you want. I think I'm gonna leave mine like this. So one last thing, if you want to, you can add some lights to this, and for us to do that, well, again, we need to Shift D, this whole thing, connect this to distribute, and now we just have more balls, but we want to actually, I don't want this, just a little sphere, UV sphere, shade smooth, add a new material, a new emission, change to emission, change the strength to maybe 5, like this. You can now see this is the 5, so let's bring her over here, our material, and as before, geometry to instance, and it's not happening anything because we need to grab this and put in the joint, just like before. Okay, I don't need this, okay? Now nothing is happening because we need to take this big instance, and now we can again play around with the size of our balls. Let's try play around with this. Yeah. The density, where they are. Okay. Try to put them, I'm gonna put mine a bit inside. Yeah. And this is it, guys. This is basically how you create this. If you want this scene, please consider buying it on Gumroad. It's only €1, and it would support me a lot, and you will have access to the light setup and everything else. So yeah, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.